Welcome to the Stocks with Josh show. Today I'm going to be talking about where are these markets going in the next 30 days and in 2023. I'm going to be breaking down the ADP jobs report that came out today and how that might tell us what the next Fed move may be, as well as looking at Wall Street predictions, aka they dub themselves the smart money. How are they getting themselves positioned right now? Guys, the markets are up 10% and today a little bit more since October's lows. And since mid-November, we've largely just been going sideways around the 39.50 range. Now, we don't have a super clear path right now. I've been talking about that probably in all of my videos recently. We're in a zone of indecision or low conviction, and that's why we're basically moving sideways. I'm going to be still looking for the markets to go as high as 4,100 or 4,200 on the S&P 500 before I would feel comfortable shorting the markets. We just haven't gotten all the way to where we might get. So what exactly did the ADP jobs report reveal? Well, it showed us that the private sector employment increased by a mere 127,000 jobs. Now, and the pay was up around 8%. Now, was this good or was this bad? Well, the market was actually expecting 200,000 jobs, quite a bit more. And last month, they had gained 239,000 jobs in the private sector. So this was actually a surprisingly low number, which in turn was very good news for the stock market. Remember, the Fed has repeatedly said that he's looking for the labor market to basically be punished to determine how much pain he can inflict by continuing to raise interest rates. So bad news for employees is good news for stocks right now. Lower demand for employees will basically translate into lower demand for wages, which will translate into less pressure on goods and the rising of inflation. So I just want to stop and make this comment. It's kind of interesting when you look at it from a global perspective. Out of control government spending. It led to record inflation, driving up the cost of gas, milk, and bread. And then the government gives everybody some more money, and then everybody pays it back at the pump. And then the Fed steps in to combat all of this spending and inflation by raising rates, which crushes everyone's retirement account. And then he keeps raising rates until large corporations cut spending and basically lay you off. Am I seeing that correctly? I want you guys to let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about this big picture. I would love for you to hit the like and say hi and make sure that you're subscribed and hit the bell to join the family. Okay, so again, this bad news for people has turned into good news for stocks. Fed Powell has repeatedly said that he's going to do whatever is necessary to cool down the economy. Now we know that his goal is inflation to hit 2%, and he has signaled that to achieve that, he believes that the unemployment rate needs to get to 4% to slow down the inflation. And currently, unemployment is only at 3%. So we've got a lot more pain ahead of us. Today, I'm going to focus on what Wall Street is predicting. And I want you guys to look with me at Goldman Sachs' macro outlook for 2023. They've titled it, "This Cycle is Different." Now, I studied this report, and I'm going to break it down for you guys into super simple to understand language. They begin their overview with the fact that the market crashed, or we had this correction, for three reasons. The market is down first because the U.S. saw diminishing reopening boost along with fiscal and monetary tightening. That basically means that the benefit of spending in 2020 and 2021 faded away, and then the Fed jumped in and started raising rates. Second, they noted that China's COVID restrictions and they had a property slump. Now, they believe that China is damaging the economy by restricting businesses due to COVID, and they have an out-of-control Ponzi-like scheme going with their property market where people had to pre-buy their homes long before they were built. And then the third issue that they cited with the economy was the Russia-Ukraine war, which really I don't think needs any explanation. They ultimately concluded that the U.S. was actually more resilient than people realized, but that Europe was not, and that they would have a bad recession, and that China would get a slow start to recovery in 2023. They specifically said that China would have a bumpy reopen. Now, the next part gets interesting. They actually believe that the U.S. should narrowly avoid recession because they believe that core PCE inflation which represents personal consumption expenditures, is going to slow from 5% to 3% in the latter part of 2023. And that there's going to be a 0.5 percentage point in the unemployment rate that will go up. So that would only be 3.5%, not the 4% that the Fed signaled. Now, they've predicted that the Fed will raise rates another 125 basis points to a terminal rate of around 5 to 5.25. And we're currently sitting at 3.75 to 4%. And then they said that there'll be no more rate cuts in all of 2023, that they're going to hold that rate. The Fed will likely raise rates about 50 points in December, and then it's going to be followed by 3 25 basis point rate hikes in February, March, and May. Now, I want you to just quickly check out this chart. It shows that their forecast for rate hikes is actually higher than the rest of the market. And the bottom line is that Goldman Sachs sees the Fed going higher. There is a lot to unpack there. Before I do, let me take a quick station break and share my affiliate, the moomoo investment app. It's a zero commission trade platform, licensed, registered, and insured, just like your local bank. These guys have the lowest margin trading accounts. They have got free level 2 data, a stock screener to find hot stocks to trade daily, and the right stop loss order types to help you take profits and protect your capital. Their current exclusive limited time holiday offer is to receive up to 15 free stock, as well as a chance to possibly win $60,000. You can also join the Stocks with Josh community, as well as the Stock Josh family daily chat group. All you got to do is click the link in the top pinned comment and you can start your investment journey today. All right, Goldman Sachs explained that we don't need to get to the 4% unemployment because the problem in the unemployment market is actually going to be easier to unwind than most people are predicting. I want you guys to check out this chart they provided. They believe that it wasn't excessive employment, basically a bunch of people being hired that shouldn't have been, and now all those people need to get laid off. But rather the problem was unusually high job openings. Basically, the big tech companies had a ton of cash and they were looking to spend it quickly in 2020 and 2021 by ramping up their business through hiring. And then the Fed came in, they pumped the brakes. They believe that the economy can adjust quicker back to pre-COVID employment levels without actually having a ton of layoffs. I want you to see the dark blue shows the little difference between the actual household employment before and after COVID. Now, they also think that the supply chain has been recently normalized and that excessive supply should cause deflation quickly, and that the interest rate hikes already made will continue to impact the housing market. So basically, guys, if we just want to stop right there, these guys are saying that it's all good, man. We don't got anything to worry about. We just need to start investing again. Let's continue to press into this a bit more. Some bonus points. They say that China is going to have a bumpier start because of this property market problem that they have, that it's going to take a long time to unwind. And they go on to say that Europe and the UK, these guys will not avoid a recession because people are basically going broke over energy costs. They literally will be choosing between heating their house and buying groceries. But they cited that Brazil and in South America, there's some positivity because Brazil was quicker to raise interest rates and combat inflation. And as a result, these guys are going to recover quicker. Well done, Brazil. So let me be clear. Goldman Sachs is a contrarian view right now. These guys are not saying the same thing as the rest of Wall Street. Matter of fact, they're suggesting that there is only a 35% probability of a recession, which is significantly lower than the average Wall Street prediction of around 65%. This is well illustrated in this chart, basically showing the black line is Goldman Sachs prediction, which is a much higher GDP than the red line, which is a Bloomberg's latest Wall Street consensus. Now, their final argument for why they are so much more bullish than the rest of Wall Street is that the data reports that they've been getting are nowhere near as recessionary as a lot of people are imagining. And actually, I pointed this out myself a month ago when I actually was comparing data points in the 2008 Great Recession to the current environment that we were in. And I noticed myself that they were actually nowhere near as bad. But this is to help us get a more balanced view. Ultimately, they conclude that the economy is strong because the real rise in personal income in the US is going to continue to allow us to basically spend more money. And as long as the Fed does not tighten more than the projected 5.25%, then it's all good in the Wall Street hood. So, my friends, I want you guys to check out this chart. The red triangles represent the projected rise in real disposable income that they're saying will occur in 2023, and that's going to be boosting the spending. Now, remember, these guys are also saying that Europe's recession is real because in 2023, they're going to be going broke trying to keep the house heated and cooled. And because of their dependency on the Russian oil, and the US is making more money and they can afford to buy the newest iPhone as well as their groceries. That's the premise of Goldman Sachs' overview. Now, in conclusion, I'm going to give you my overview because the aaii report that I keep my eye on has basically been exclusively bearish. And I find myself that I have also been largely bearish on the markets. And I think it's important that we have a balanced view of what could possibly happen one way or the other. We just can't get tunnel vision looking at one idea. We have to drive the center of the road. Now, if we get too bearish or too bullish, that's how we end up in the ditch on either side. Now, I still think that we're going to come down, and I think we're going to make a new low, likely in the month of December or in January or February, but I do think that we're going to hit a low of 3,300 on the S&P 500. And that may be the worst of it. But I want you guys to tell me in the comment section what you guys think of Goldman Sachs' 2023 projection. And if you guys are leaning bullish or bearish, or if you think that you've gone too far into an extreme, and if this has helped you. But don't miss this timely market research. Go ahead and hit the like for me. Don't forget to check and see if you're subscribed, and feel free to join the family by hitting that notification bell. As always, peace and blessings, my friends. Take care.